you're looking for juicy glutes and tone firm legs, then this is the workout for you. Today, I'm gonna be taking you through full legs today. We're gonna be starting off with burning out the glutes because they are weaker than our quads. So we're gonna train quads last. Hamstrings are gonna be second, but I'm so excited to take you through a full leg day of how I structure my full leg days. I do train my glutes 2 to 3 times a week because I like to maximize on the growth, and I like to train full legs once a week. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, then I hope along the video you hit that subscribe button. Personally, for me, I like to start off with isolating my glutes before I start my full leg day, before training my hamstrings, quads, and calves. I like to warm up and really burn out my glutes. So we're starting with the cable kickbacks. I'm hinged at a 90-degree angle, almost 45 sometimes, and driving up with that heel and squeezing at the top. I'm gonna superset this movement with a single leg hip drive, making sure that my heel is in line with my knee. I'm driving from my heel into the hamstring, into my glutes, and squeezing with a hold at the top. Make sure your core stays tight with both exercises and that you are breathing the entire time. We are gonna do this warm up, these 2 exercises together for 4 sets. This workout will be in the description down below. I find that when I start with single leg movements, I really get to equally warm up each leg or each muscle group. So whether it's just a glute day or just a hamstring day, I like to start off my workouts with single leg movements. Sometimes even with my upper body, I'll do single arm movements before getting into the actual workout. Next exercise, we are headed into the seated adduction. I don't do these enough, but they are so good for your inner thighs, not only with building strength, but also adding more shape and depth to your hamstrings and a little bit on the inner quads. So we are gonna be starting off really light just to get them activated and warmed up. We're gonna be here for 4 sets total. And as the sets go on, I'm actually going to increase the weight, not too heavy. For this exercise, guys, you do not need to go too heavy because you will not be able to walk for a few days, okay? The inner thighs, especially leading up to our groin area, can be very sensitive. I would say the highest for me I'll go is to 80 pounds, and then I'll start to drop down as the sets go on. I start to drop down the weight and just continue with high reps, and making sure that I always keep a gap in between my knees so I'm not closing my knees all the way together. I definitely will be adding the adduction into my routine more often so that I can gain more strength in this area. That way I'm not so sensitive to higher weights. As long as you start to add this in, you'll be able to build more strength and be able to do heavier weights. Now we're going into a seated abduction, and I am using the standing seated abduction machine. So even if your gym does not have this, use the original seated abduction machine, my go-to. We are going to be doing 4 sets. We are going to be doing 4 sets on the seated abduction machine. I like to make sure that my heels are aligned with my knees and that I'm really sitting back into my hips and pushing my glutes back. My core is tight and my chest is up. I am driving through my heels and the tips of my toes are up. Okay, we're gonna start out with a moderate weight, nothing too easy and nothing too heavy on set 1. So for 4 sets, we're gonna be here. When we get to set 2, I want you to increase the weight to something that is challenging, where you are challenged and you really have to use your core. You're squeezing, everything feels tight, and you are making sure to push out on those knees, maintaining a gap in between the knees. As you see, I'm getting off the machine to do a drop set. So I'm continuously dropping down the weight until the timer or your rep number is done. And so I pretty much do the same method of increasing the weight, maxing out the weight, challenging myself with heavier weights, and doing a ton of drop sets until fatigue or failure, until I'm ready and burnt out. This is going to be right before we get into hamstrings and quads. Now it's time for our hamstrings. Okay, so we are going to be starting off with single leg lying hamstring curls. You can also do this on the seated machine, but personally, I like to start with warming up each leg individually before I do both legs, just because I always find that one hamstring is awake and the other one may be sleeping. So I like to just focus on one leg at a time and then do both legs. So we're doing 4 sets here. The first 2 sets are going to be single legs only, and the last 2 sets are going to be double legs. Okay, when we get there, I will explain what to do. And so pretty much I'm using a light to moderate weight to warm up my hamstrings. And you can do as many sets as you want when it comes to single legs. If you feel like you're still not warmed up, the left side may still be sleeping and you're not feeling that engagement, then you can just continue repping it out single legs until you really feel your hamstrings both awake and full. So now we're gonna go into full legs. We're doing both legs now at the same time. And you wanna take your time on your way down, and then I count 1, 2 on the way up to a nice squeeze at the top. And there is no rush. For me, when it comes to hamstring curls, there is no rush. I like to make sure that I get a really good workout when it comes to my hamstrings, just because they are weaker than my glutes and my quads. My glutes, I've built them to be way more dominant than my quads. But when I first started my training, I did a ton of squats and quad exercises that I was quad dominant. Now I am glute dominant. So my glutes look fake and the rest of my body is just like a lot smaller. So right now I'm trying to build my hamstrings, and so I'm doing a lot more sets and a lot more reps. So as the sets go on, I am going up in weights and doing a ton of drop sets. All right, so now this is where I personally would call this a full leg exercise. Okay, so I'm going to be targeting my adductors, my hamstrings, my quads, and my glutes. And I'm going to start off with a single leg, of course, leg press first. And then after that, I'm going to go into full legs. So again, you can do as many sets as you like. I'm doing my first 2 sets using 45 plates, but if you're a beginner to single leg movements on the leg press, it can be heavy. So start really light and then work your way up to building some strength. Okay, guys, this is also going to make you a lot stronger when you do double legs. So I really like to challenge myself. I know that I can put 5 plates of 45 on each side and feel really strong and confident when I'm doing my leg press. And this is a great exercise to shape your legs overall and just provide that burst and bubble within your glutes and your legs. You will look so sexy in your heels. So good. After I have warmed up with single legs, now I'm going to start to increase the weights, and we're going to be doing double legs. For the stance, I'm going to take it to a sumo stance where my feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width, and then my feet are slightly turned out and my knees are in line with my toes. If you feel uncomfortable on the leg press, then I would recommend adding booty bands above your knees or below your knees to just help with the tension around your knees to build the joint strength. And this is going to help you feel more confident and secure in your leg press and get you a lot stronger to start lifting heavier weights. All right. I take my time as I descend on forward towards my chest, and then I drive through my heels as I press the weight back up. Make sure that your core stays tight. Try breathing through your chest. Regardless, just make sure you're breathing and keep training, guys. For my last set here, depending on how exhausted my legs are, I'm gonna do a drop set where this will require you to physically get up, or if you have a training partner, they can help you take the weights off as well. Oh, there's a dog fight. But they can help you take the weights off, but I'm getting up here to take a break from my set, take the weight off, and then hop right back in and then rep it out until failure, because my legs at this point are pretty much burning. But this is what we want. next up, we are going to train our calves. And again, we are going to start with a single leg movement. And at the top of the movement, you want to make sure to squeeze and hold and take your time as you descend your toe back towards you. And you want to keep a light bend in your knees, not to lock out the legs fully straight. You want to keep it very light on your legs, on your joints, and make sure to always squeeze and hold at the top as if you were in heels. Then after that, I'm going to go into doubles and just make sure to rep it out, high volume here. And then as the sets go on, again, I'm going to increase the weight and do the same thing. I get a ton of compliments when it comes to my legs, my body in general, but my legs especially. I train my calves 1 to 2 times a week. Honestly, I might amp it up and start training them 3 times a week. But hey, if you are a beginner, take it easy because your calves are so sensitive. You may not be able to walk if you are training them really heavy. You kind of gradually have to start to train them light and get your calves used to it under all of that, strength and pressure. And then you'll be able to start adding on more weights. When you are training your calves, just make sure your core stays tight and you're taking your time with that squeeze and really intentionally holding at the top. In between this exercise, I do like to stretch my calves or just do some ankle rolls and just, move my body, move my legs a little bit so that my calves don't get stiff. And lastly here, we are going to go in for some jump squats. Yeah, baby. 4 sets of jump squats, and I want you to sit low in your hips as well. My stance is quite wide. My legs are so long, guys. I feel like my body is like the entire body is just legs. I have a really short torso, so I do have to sit really low, which I do want to just make sure to get the calves, the hamstrings, the quads, the glutes, and really just maximize the tension on my legs when I'm doing my jump squats. So I like to sit really low, stay light on your feet, drive through your heels, keep your core tight, and keep jumping. And if you start to burn out, you can also start to pulse and stay low. Do not come all the way up. You want to keep the movements really short and keep the tension in the legs. We're going to do these back to back to back to back to back. And I know your legs are going to be on fire, but this is amazing. Sometimes I'll even do my jump squats in between exercises. So it could be in between my leg press, in between adductions. I just like to do them as many times as possible throughout the workout. After my workout, I decided to treat myself to shawarma. You can never go wrong with a shawarma bowl, chicken, rice, potatoes, and of course a little bit of garlic sauce on the side. But it had been a while since I'd had a cheat meal and I had to treat myself. My man was also not home at the time, so I really wanted to just have a nice night in with myself and vibe and eat some good food. It was delicious. And after a good leg day, yeah, well deserved. Hi y'all, I really hope you guys enjoyed that workout. I am so tired and I decided to have a cheat meal. Shawarma. I got the beef with chicken and my partner is not home. I just washed my hands. My partner's not home. So am I gonna eat all of this by myself? No, I'm gonna portion it out. And then I'm going to, I just set the vibe. I set the vibe in here. Let me turn the light off. Okay. Set the vibe in the living room and set the vibe in the bedroom. I am ready to unwind and relax. Like the workouts this week kicked my butt. The workouts this week kicked my butt and I'm so excited to eat this food. I really wanted Five Guys. I was really craving like fries, like salty, crispy fries. I haven't had fries in so long. I don't even think I've had fries this year. I don't think I've had fries this year. And some people are gonna be like, girl, what? Have you been living? Actually, no, I have not. And so burgers, tacos, burritos, those are my favorites. But while I was driving home, I was like, I don't know if I want to be bloated tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm going to get up to, but if anything, I'll just save my Five Guys for next week. Like, I'm going to go and get it next week, but I knew that I did not want to cook my own food. There's food in the fridge, but I've been good all week. So it was well deserved for a cheat meal. And then once I start to see that my energy is getting really low and I am brain dead, yeah, it's time to enjoy and indulge in some good stuff. And then I also have some ice cream in my freezer. It's almost done. So it's maple pecan, and it's almost done. My partner and I got it like 2 weeks ago, and so I'll probably have a little bit of this, yeah, but I'm gonna shower first. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys want to see reality lifestyle vlogs like this, even at the end of the workout, or let me know what you guys want to see in general. My next 2 videos are going to be about progressive overload and plateaus. So I read the comments. So those are my priority to make first. And I hope you guys are feeling good. I hope you guys are making progress. I hope you guys know that you are loved, that you are enough, and that day by day, bit by bit, every little habit that you do counts. I also forgot to mention, if you did not take a probiotic this morning, then definitely take a digestive enzyme with any meal that you eat outside, okay? This is gonna help your body digest the food, because when outside food is gonna be harder for your body to break down. So the digestive enzyme or the probiotic is gonna help break the stubborn food down and not sit in your stomach and then have you bloated and inflamed. Okay? All right. Have a good night.